Well, I thought Missouri really played extremely hard tonight, and for a large portion of the game, really, to me, challenged us in a variety of ways. One of which is on the glass. I think if we leave this game disappointed in anything, it's that they out-rebounded us 34-32, and I only say that because that's something we take a lot of pride in, and I think that we have on our side, on our team, a lot of talent in that area. But when you come to this tournament, there's so much building towards the first game. I think it's a tournament that is the biggest and the best. And with that, that first game is always the most difficult. I think we feel good about the fact that we've won. And there are a number of things that I know and I think we know we can do better. Rebounding is one of them. But just getting that first game out of our system, it gives us now a chance to take a deep breath and obviously move on to a very, very good Kansas State team where we know we have to play even better than we did today, and hopefully we'll be up to that task.
Great. Now we'll take questions for the players. We do have a wireless mic, so please raise your hand and announce yourself into the mic before asking a question. Questions for the players? In front.
Both guys, it was pretty close game early, and you guys pulled away. How do you feel the confidence of this team growing as you guys are going along?
Rondé, can you take that question first, please?
Oh, yeah. Well, I see. As the season goes along, teams, they build more chemistry, and I would say, as the year goes on, we got great leadership, with TJ, Brandon, and Caleb. They bring a lot out of us. We work hard in practice, and that's where it starts, in practice. And we got a great coach. He practices what he preaches, and it just follows in the game. A transition, and you'll see it more and more as we go along.
Yeah, I pretty much have to agree with what Rondé said. As the season goes along, you get more comfortable with the guys that you're on the floor with, and with that, comes a higher confidence level as well.
Brandon, it seemed like you helped get them going early, and I was wondering if you could talk about that. And just, is it even a question anymore about you playing 3 games in 3 days as far as rest and all? How do you feel?
Are we talking about, in terms of my foot? In terms of that, I'm 100% now. In terms of the injury, it no longer bothers me. And in terms of, early on in the game, my teammates, did a great job of finding me in some good positions. Our coach, drew up some wonderful plays that ended up working really well. So, yeah, that's pretty much all that was.
Thanks, Brandon. Any other questions for the players?
Just Rondé coming off the bench, and then the second half you started. Did that make a difference to you? You came out some punch right away offensively, at least.
No, not really. Just coming in the game with the energy I always have is it's a great feeling for our team. We need that spark sometimes off the bench, or sometimes we may need it to start with. And coach knows that. And when we're out there together, it's a great team chemistry, and we get the job done.
Rondé and Brandon, I'm just looking at the assist to turnover ratio. You guys were 14-6 on the positive side. You forced 17 turnovers, and they only had 7 assists. Is that a big part of your guys' game plan, and is that a key to success for you guys?
Yeah, definitely. Our coach, he always tells us, we got to take care of the ball. We got to feed the inside. When we feed the inside, good things happen. And that's what we do on defense. We pressure the ball, try to get turnovers, get stops, and, being in the gap, it helps us a lot. And that's what we take pride in.
I'm going to kind of take something that my coach has said in the past, that a good defensive team or a great defensive team is never selfish. And so what that means basically is, if somebody gets beat, you're going to be there to help them out. You're going to be there, for your teammate on defense, and that kind of translates to offense. We always want to make sure that we're sharing the ball and everything.
Thanks, Brandon. Any other questions before we let the players go? Okay, great. Thank you, gentlemen. Now we will take questions for Coach Miller. Please, again, raise your hand and state your name and affiliation, as we are providing transcripts for this press conference.
Brian Badcoat, Power Mizzou. Coach, does it seem like it's kind of becoming a familiar script for you guys, or maybe you're not where you want to be in the first half or even at halftime, and then eventually you just kind of pull away?
Yeah, I guess, now that you brought it up, you're probably right. I talked a couple weeks ago about, when you have a group of guys that have been in a lot of big games like we have, many times we should be like a fast starting team, where you just kind of see that confidence early on. And, man, I haven't seen it yet. That first 4 minutes, there's been some times this season in our first 4 games, we've been excellent on defense. There are times when I think we've executed really well and have had some great shots that we haven't made. But, that initial surge out of the gates, playing really well, both ends, I don't know if we've really done that yet, which I can also flip it and make that a positive because like every team at this time of year, you're in search of getting better and improving. And, today is another step for our team playing on a neutral court in a big tournament, one that we're excited to be at. There's a little bit, I think, of the sense on our end. It's good to get that first one out of your system and be a winner because there were a number of things that I know we can do better that we didn't do in this game. And like I said in my initial statement, we're going to have to do those things better tomorrow to beat an excellent Kansas State team.
Rob Coley is from the Maui News. Coach, can you talk a little bit about TJ tonight? He struggled shooting, but 9 of those assists were his and only 2 turnovers.
TJ's our heart and soul in many ways, one of our leaders and somebody that does it on both ends. He doesn't have to necessarily shoot the ball well to play well, and he impacted today's game in a big way. But he's really become mental at this point, shooting the basketball, and he's making too much of it. He just has to relax, take the shots that present themselves. And like I've said, statistically, I have more confidence in him than maybe any single player on our team from 3. It's just a matter of him not making it bigger than it needs to be. We've all been there before as shooters where it just doesn't feel right. And he just needs one to go down. Hopefully that'll be tomorrow. But he can play an excellent game and not be a big scorer for us.
Any other questions for Coach? Second row.
Sean, sorry to ask you all about this again, but Rondé coming and starting in the second half, was that a function of just another kind of slow start in the first half or something else?
Well, it was a reward for Rondé, and, it's not as if we're not starting Rondé because he's not one of our 5 best players. I think what we've decided on from a chemistry perspective and getting maybe some more balance on offense, that not starting him gives us that energy that everyone loves to have off the bench and maybe balances out, complements the starting group a little bit better. But every once in a while, you could certainly see why we would want to start him in the second half. He had some foul problems as well, and it's important that we give him enough minutes because right now no one on our team is playing better than Rondé. He's been the most consistent player from start to finish in all 4 games. I would say Brandon, Ashley, and him, those 2 guys have been the most consistent on our end. Go ahead, Bruce.
Follow-up question?
Does that mean just going forward, you probably still start games going forward?
Yeah, you can ask me the same question every game, and you can ask me at halftime and after the game. Tomorrow you can ask me it again. I'm going to give you the same answer. If you want to make a huge deal of who starts, you can keep doing it, but it's more about who plays well. And I've already gone on record once, 5, 10, 15 times that the reason we're not starting Rondé Hollis Jefferson has nothing to do with anything he does. He's clearly a very, very talented player. We just feel that him entering the game at the 17-minute mark helps us be the best team we can be. Now, having answered that, I'll answer it again tomorrow if you want, but I would say that we'll probably start the same lineup tomorrow that we started today.
Great. Thank you very much, Coach.